I hate to bring this up, especially from a meme format, but it's something that's so
Memes are
true.
very important in politics.
They are, but it's like the fact that it's like you need to go to college, and we're so like pressured by an older generation to go to college and learn things, and then you come out of college, you're like, look, like global warming's a real issue. They're like, that's fake. What are you talking? I'm like, what the? I literally I took 6 biology classes, and I'm telling you, like I've seen the science, the data, the research, the experiments. This shit's real.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing that frustrates me is I have been pressed to go to college, like you said, my whole entire life by my family, right? And now it seems like the conservative movement is kind of shifting away from education and saying that colleges are just kind of communist brainwashing institutions.
Yeah.
When I go to my biology class, and this is what I very much appreciate about higher education, this is why I completely agree with Bernie Sanders when he's advocating for that public education, higher public education is a human right. When I was in high school, I was dumb.
Yeah.
I literally thought that the world
1000%.
was flat. I thought that the world, I was a flat earther.
No.
Didn't believe in climate change. I had no, like I said, I was going to vote for Gary Johnson. He was a libertarian candidate. I was a conspiracy theorist. I mean, it was bad. That just shows you what public education gives us. But my first biology class, or I guess it was biology and geology, when I started learning about the realities of climate change, because public schools don't want to teach you that. Once you get into college, it's like, oh, hey, this thing that public education doesn't want to teach you because parents don't want you to think that.
Politics and that. Yeah.
Same with evolution. Same with everything else. Things that are scientific facts now that are politicized for some reason. People don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
The confirmation bias, like what we were talking about. But I learned a lot in college, man. And now that I've started to go away from my viewpoints, like I used to consider myself a Republican. My family is Republican. And my parents asked me, they're like, why are you a Democrat now? You just went to college. Like they could think that I'm being brainwashed, right?
Right.
And it's well, it just turns out that when I go to college, I learn things. And when you learn things, you change your viewpoints. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think that higher education is actually a very important thing. I watched your podcast with Sam Ward.
Yeah.
And I know that y'all might have some disagreements with when I say that higher education is a very vital thing. I don't think it's necessary for everybody. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, expanding your worldview and learning about things like this is very important to becoming a good person.
I agree 1,000%. I think college should be something that a lot of people should understand. And I like that note you kind of put about, this conversation is so heavy about college, like should it be paid by the people or whatever. But you were literally saying, or we already have the system where the public pays for, grades 1 through 12.
Yeah.
But like you said, there is such a separation because high school, like me and him mentioned on that same podcast, like how the hell did we graduate? Like you go to class, you turn in half done things.
That was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, literally, dude. But college is different. 100%. It's really, it's like there is this conversation like I talk about, is college worth it and things like that, because it's sometimes can be like a laundry list until you get into your field. When you like you said, like the first, or when I was saying on that podcast, the first 2 years is kind of like generals. You're kind of learning a basis, which is really good. But
it's important.
When you crone down to your craft, you're learning really, really important things from people that have been in the fields for 20, 30, 40 years and things like that, which I think could really benefit a lot of people.
Yes, and I think it makes you realize just how much you don't actually know.
Yes.
Studying political science, philosophy, sociology just made me realize, like with the film thing that you're doing, I know nothing about it. I know. But here's the thing, though, is that people who know nothing about it think that they know more than they actually do.
Right.
Like, there's been tons of studies that show that if you don't know anything about a subject, you think that you know way more. Yeah. But the thing is that once you actually start diving into it, like if I just jumped into one of the classes that you're taking right now, I'd be like, English, right?
For real though,
because there's so much to learn about for each specific study. Mm-hmm. And the only way that you could possibly get to know it is by actually pursuing it into that field.
Yep, and learning that.
And so that's why I don't really pretend to know about things anymore.
I know.